In today's society, where the pressure is getting worse on all sides, I'm here to tell you that you, my elegant people, do not need to succumb to any further pressure or anything that adds any extra pressure to your life. And that's why today's episode is all about beauty standards that need to be tossed to the trash. Let's get right into it, shall we? In today's modern day society, to be considered beautiful, you have to abide by certain standards and unrealistic expectations. And what society forgets is that people come in different shapes, sizes, heights, forms, with different characteristics and just different everything. And it's impossible to have just a specific set of standards for people to abide by. Because believe it or not, and whether we like it or not, every human being is individuated and unique in their own rights. And that's why setting standards for everyone to follow may be very impossible. And this is what sometimes leads to unnecessary pressure and unnecessary heartaches with people. So right now, I'm about to share with you 13 beauty and lifestyle standards that you, my darling, don't have any business following. But I mean, if you like to follow them, that's fine, but you have no obligation following them. The very first one that I've put down here on my list is the need to wear designer clothing to feel worthy. A lot of people in society has made it look like if you aren't putting on a designer brand or a designer name, then you are not worthy or you don't belong to a particular class or a particular group in society. My dear, I'm here to tell you that you do not necessarily have to wear designer brands and designer clothing to feel worthy. In fact, elegant people try to stay away from very common designer brands. And I'm not going to mention any names, but you know what I'm talking about. It's more elegant and classy when you dress up in outfits that people don't even know where you got them from, but they look put together and beautiful. And I always say that it's not necessarily the designer brand that makes your outfit look put together. It is you as a person who puts your outfits together by, of course, combining your colors, understanding your body type, and then, of course, your body carriage and all of that good stuff. So come out of the pressure that you need to wear or own designer brands to feel worthy in today's society, okay? The second standard that you, my darling, have no business succumbing to, but I mean, again, you can if you want to, is simply the need to take artificial measures to enhance your look. Now, people feel that they are more attractive when they enhance their body features in certain ways. Like, there's a lot of common trends that's been going on in today's society where every lady is doing the BBL to get the curvy shape, or enhancing their boobs, or having the lip fillers, or just making their lips a lot fuller. I mean, if those things actually help you feel better or feel good about yourself, by all means, go ahead and do it. But if truly you look within yourself and you see that you have no desire to do these things, but it just looks like everywhere you turn, everyone is doing it. And it feels like because everyone is doing it, you have to succumb to the pressure of doing it as well. But deep down, you know that you have no business doing it. Please do not succumb to the pressure. You definitely do not need to enhance your body in any way to look and feel attractive. At the end of the day, the most important thing is that you are loving your unique body and loving your unique self. And by the time you get to a place where you love your unique self, you won't find the need to take any artificial measures to enhance the way you look. Again, I always say to people, to be quite honest with you, you can look at your body type, look at yourself, figure out the things about your body that you want to accentuate and the things that you want to tone down, and find out how to play around with your different clothing styles. There are different clothing styles that can help you accentuate your figures or make you look the way that you want to look. You don't necessarily have to go under a knife and put your beautiful body at risk just so that you can succumb to the pressure of having a big backside. And let me tell you something. Hey, guys, this BBL thing that people do, I rarely and hardly find the ones that actually look very natural. When I go to the gym to work out, there's a lot of girls who have done it. It's always like, you definitely can tell that it's very artificial. It's not nice. It doesn't really look nice. And one day I took the effort to ask a couple of guys in my world, just my friends and people that are closer to me, even my brothers. And I asked them, Which do you prefer? A girl, a lady with a BBL, and a lady with the natural looking bum? And every one of them, the 100% of them, chose the lady with the natural looking bum, because they're like, because we already know that it's artificial, it doesn't feel real anymore. So just come as you are, come correct, come as you are. And the person who would accept you would accept you. You don't need to put your life under risk. You don't need to put your health under risk just so you can look a certain way. Okay? And I've even met people, I've met ladies who regret actually doing a BBL. Yeah, because there's a lot of maintenance that actually comes with having a BBL done. Now, BBL is just one of them. There's a whole lot of things that people do, but you don't need to succumb to that pressure if you know truly that you are not interested in it, okay? This now leads me to my third point, which is somewhat connected to the second one, and it's simply putting unnecessary pressure on yourself to look a certain way to attract the opposite sex. My darlings, anyone that doesn't like you at your most natural state is certainly not for you. Any guy that says, oh, girl, I prefer that you have a big bum, I prefer that you have a big breast, please don't do it. Don't live your life dancing to someone else's tune. Even if you must get a BBL, you want to get the enlargement, you want to get the boobs, do it for yourself and not because you want to keep a man. Because I tell you, see, human beings are very complex and we work based on, and sometimes some of us work based on feelings and emotions. Today, what looks good in his eyes might not look good the next day in his eyes. So you want to ensure that you are just coming in your full natural state and not necessarily doing anything because that man over there wants you to do it. Or in your mind, you think that you have to look a certain way to attract that man. Okay, don't do anything because of the man. Even if you must do anything, do it for the sole purpose of yourself because it brings you pleasure, it gives you satisfaction, it gives you some sort of fulfillment, and it makes you truly happy. Okay? The next beauty standard that we need to cuckoo and send out the door is expecting that all women should have flat tummies and snatched waists. That's the biggest height of impossibility, especially if you live in this part of the world, because our bone structures are designed in such a way that your tummy can be flat, but it will not necessarily look flat, especially also because you have a womb. We have a womb. Our bodies are designed in such a way, don't get me wrong, it's easy to achieve a flat tummy, but even with the flat tummy that you have, you still see a certain bulge coming out somewhere at the lower part of your stomach. That's totally normal because if you study the anatomy of your body, you will understand that your body is actually designed in such a way as to enable you, a woman, do the things that only a woman can do. So I've traveled to Europe, I've traveled to a lot of countries in Europe, and I see a lot of their girls over there have very flat, super duper flat tummy. But one thing I also notice is that in the flatness of that tummy, there's still that bulge that comes out at the lower region. So, but for us in this part of the world, our bone structure, our bone density, I've observed, is quite different and very unique. And so because of that, it's very impossible or nearly impossible for everyone to have a flat tummy. So expecting that you should have a flat tummy and a snatched waist at all time is actually a standard that's too high for you to maintain. Because we women go through a lot. We go through hormonal imbalances. We go through things like bloating. Have you ever experienced severe bloating? One time in the day, you are all flat and nice. Your stomach is all flat and nice. The next time during the day, you look like a pregnant woman with twins. Because there's so many things that happens in the body. Our bodies are so complex. And of course, with the way we interact with our bodies, through the food that we eat, our lifestyle, stress can cause you to have a protruded tummy. There's so many things. There's something called water weight that can make you have a protruded tummy. So expecting that your tummy would always be flat every second of the day or snatched every second of the day is the definition of impossibility. So you need to embrace and accept the tummy and the waist that you have, regardless of what it is, and stop hurting your organs, especially for those people who would go and buy waist trainers. They want to snatch out the... Let your organs breathe, people. Please, let your organs breathe. If you really want to control the weight of around your tummy region, you need to start focusing and paying more attention to the kind of things you're feeding your body with. So if you think that you're excessively big in your midsection, then maybe pay attention to the foods that you eat, because maybe that's what is actually causing you to be big in that area. But just expecting that everyone is going to have a flat tummy, a snatched waist at all times is the definition of impossibility. Own your bloated stomach. Own it with your full chest. Do your best to ensure that it doesn't get out of hand, but own it. Okay? Thank you. Before we go on with the point, just a quick reminder that the Art of Speaking course is still up and available for anyone who wants to improve their conversation and communication skills, whether in their personal or professional lives. Click the link in the description box down below to get more information about the course and of course how to access it as well. Okay, let's get right back into the video. The next beauty standard that we need to throw out the trash is feeling the need to always wear makeup. My best advice to you is lean towards a minimalistic approach when it comes to your facial care, and then prioritize skincare. Prioritize skincare. The most important thing you can actually do to your body is, or do to yourself as a person, is try as much as possible to maintain or stay in a natural state at all times. This is not saying that makeup is bad. I'm wearing makeup right now. And the reason why I wear makeup when I come to film these videos is because to enhance the way, to ensure that my face is not looking dull in front of the camera, I have to wear the makeup, even though sometimes I have said to myself or I've said to the team that I want to do this video or I want to shoot this episode without makeup, and they're like, girl, you can't do that. And I always succumb to their pressure. In fact, you know what? I'm going to try and film an episode with no makeup to see what it looks like. And if it looks good, I'm doing away with the makeup. For me personally, I try my best to avoid makeup because I want people to embrace my natural face with all of its imperfections, according to whoever thinks it's imperfect. But to me, it's the definition of perfection, because God did his absolute greatest work when he was creating this face. So I always want you to see the way my eyes are nicely sculpted, the way my ears are nicely put together, the way the pores on my skin are nice and open and receiving fresh air from. You guys get it. So embrace your natural state, own it, and just focus on taking good care of the condition of your skin. There's simple, minimalistic, easy ways you can do that. You can invest in, of course, a very good cleanser, a very good toner. You can invest with serums that work with your face type. So if you have one serum that I highly recommend for all face types is the vitamin C serum, because it helps to brighten, takes away the hyperpigmentation from the skin. And then you can also invest in an eye cream so that you don't have under eyes, the dark under circles under your eyes. Then of course, invest in sunscreen. So just do a little bit of research on the things you can do to actually enhance your natural skin in the natural condition that it is, and then focus on that. And then only wear makeup when it is absolutely necessary. The other day, my friend invited me for an after party of a wedding, and I already made up my mind that I wasn't going to wear makeup. And I got to that event with no makeup, and when we were in the car heading to the event, one of my neighbors saw me and was like, Winnie, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going for a wedding. And she's like, oh, you didn't wear makeup? I'm like, oh, yes. And then she says, oh, and you still look really beautiful. I'm like, oh, I know. And I'm going to own that no makeup face with my full chest. And I go to that event, and the amount of compliments that I received, oh, girl, you look beautiful. Oh, girl, you look beautiful. I don't know if they noticed that I was wearing makeup or not, but I have prioritized taking good care of my skin, and that's what I want you, my elegant people, to do. So you can save your money from all that makeup products that they sell. Imagine one lip gloss, fancy lip gloss, 44,000. Why? How am I supposed to keep up with that? The next beauty standard that needs to cuckoo to the door is the need to always project your body as perfect. Hence the use of overly excessive filters when you're posting content or pictures of yourself on social media. These days, it's crazy. You go on TikTok, every video you see has a filter on it. You go on Instagram stories, every post you see has a filter on it. It has gotten so bad that the YouTube vlogs that some YouTubers actually film, they film it with filters. I'm like, why? What's going on? What's really going on? Why do we feel the need to cover up things that are already perfect, even with their so-called imperfections? Why do you feel the need to make a video with your phone and you are using a filter? Let me even tell you the truth. I used to be one of those girlies back there many years ago. When I wanted to come on Instagram stories to do an Instagram story post, I'll be looking for a filter to cover my face with. But I stopped that and I said, no. Anyone who's not going to accept my face and the message I have to share with the way my face looks, please, you can as well just move to the side or maybe take it up with God. Because this face that God has made, in my opinion, is the most beautiful, perfect, glorious face in its natural state. I don't need no filter. I don't need no filter to help me enhance my look. And you too certainly don't need it. If you cannot comfortably put a camera on your face and make a video and own that face, then you need to actually work on your inner self. Because yeah, there's something definitely wrong somewhere. So filters, cuckoo them out the door. Embrace your so-called imperfections. Embrace the stretch marks on your skin. Embrace that you have a hairy body. Do you understand? Embrace it. And if you don't like it, like it all. Enjoy it. Because just like it. Fall in love with every part of yourself. You say you have a crooked nose. Enjoy that crooked nose. Love it. God knows why He created you that way, or God knows why you ended up that way. So embrace everything that you call an imperfection in your body. Because trust me, that's the key, or one of the keys to living a very happy life on this earth. This next one is more of a lifestyle standard than a beauty standard, and it definitely needs to go. And it's simply focusing too much on acquiring material possession just for the need to feel among. Instead of you to start securing your bag by making investments and getting yourself assets, you're focusing on buying what I mentioned in the first part. You want to buy all the designer brands. You want to drive the biggest car. You want people to see that you've arrived in that car. You want to wear the most expensive wristwatch. Meanwhile, you're wearing all of these things. You look like $250,000, but in your bank account, I can barely see less than $2,000 in there. Who are you deceiving? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't own nice things. I own nice things, but I don't own nice things because I want to go and impress somebody outside or out there. I own nice things because I know that it's what I know would help me thrive on a day-to-day basis. I don't come this life to suffer. Do you understand? So I own nice things so that I can thrive and live my life thriving through the earth. But some people actually buy material possession just because they want to impress their neighbor, or they want to feel like they've arrived, or they want to belong to a particular social class. This next one is also a lifestyle standard, and it's somewhat connected to the last, and it's simply judging people by their material possessions. Especially in this part of the world, we don't know how to do it in this part of the world where somebody walks in and you're already sizing him up to see what he looks like based on maybe the car he's driving or what he's wearing. I'm like, people should not be deceived about those things. So for example, this one is a very clear real life example. There's a person who has the nicest, most beautiful, glorious, excellent car. That car, peng, 10 over 10, nice. Drives the car. Now, there's another person who doesn't have a personal car of their own, but owns about 10 to 15 commercial vehicles that actually he or she invested in and is receiving returns on investment on the cars. Who do you think is richer? Now, don't get me wrong. This person who has invested in a car for his personal use, there's nothing wrong in that. But there's absolutely something wrong in that equation when this so-called person who has invested all this money in a beautiful, glorious car for himself is coming to the person who doesn't even have a personal car of his own to ask for money. Who's the foolish one in the equation? Is that equation balanced? It doesn't make sense. So you have bought yourself a liability that you have to take care of, and someone else who doesn't. Now you might see this person who has come in, who has bought, maybe it's a BMW and it's all looking nice and plumb and tear rubber and everything good. And he comes into an event, everybody's hailing him, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. The other one comes in maybe one of his smaller cars that he uses as maybe an Uber. And he comes in the car, sits down, just minimalist small car, But this man is raking in on a monthly basis, raking in millions of naira. This other one cannot vouch for the next meal he's going to eat. But yet, society is saying, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. So the one who they can see has the biggest cars. And ladies, a lot of you fall prey to these things. You are judging or sizing up a man based on his material possession. Don't do that. I have seen a man who was absolutely, when it came to material possession, he didn't have a lot. But when it came to mental possession, he had so much. The girl he was dating left him at some point because of that. This man today, this is literally less than 4 years ago, this man today has about 4 properties that I know of personally in Lagos alone. 4 properties. This was someone as at 4 years ago, he couldn't even afford to buy a car for himself. Now he drives the biggest Mercedes. Now he has properties all around Lagos. Now he's traveling everywhere with his wife. He's married. Of course, he married a woman who was going to be there for him, and he has 2 beautiful children. And the lady who he was dating back then lost out on the goodies. I mean, well, she didn't lose out because, if that's not, I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to judge. But I'm just trying to explain to you, don't judge a person based on their material possession. Someone can be living in a mansion and be suffering as hell. So, be wise, okay? This next one is also a lifestyle standard that needs to be cuckooed out the door. And it's simply looking down on people because they aren't on the same level as you are, or they do not look like you. Please, let people breathe. Treat everyone equally. Love everyone the same way. If you study the life of Jesus in the Bible, when he was on the earth, Jesus paid the same respect. In fact, he paid more respect to the people who were not on his status. And don't get it all twisted. My Jesus was super duper wealthy on this earth, like he could afford anything he wanted. Don't get it twisted. So when he was rolling with the people that were not on his social class or his social status, he treated them with kindness, respect, compassion. Be like Jesus and ensure that you are not treating someone better than another person just because you think that that other person is not on your social class. Treat the janitor the same way you treat the CEO. Treat that security man the same way you treat your husband. You get what I mean. Accord them the same level of respect. Accord them the same level of dignity. Accord them the same level of compassion, because everyone is made in the image and in the likeness of God. What we become or what we are on this earth is not who we truly are. That's not where our value lies. It's just what we do. What we do is just what we do. It's not who we are. So look at everyone as valuable in the eyes of God. Look at everyone as God's creation. Look at everyone as put a premium on everyone and treat everybody with the same compassion. It's very important, even for your own well-being, okay? We're making so much progress. This next one, this is the 10th one. I hope I'm counting correctly. And this next one is for my women out there. It's also a lifestyle standard that needs to be, please change that mindset quickly. Thinking you have to sleep your way to the top to attract an elevated life. It's become common in today's society. And I weep for young ladies who have that mindset. So many of them who have that mindset. Some I have even come in contact with. The other day I was talking to a young lady and she's like, Winifred, that's all I have to offer. I'm like, no, girl, that's not all you have to offer. You can use the brain that God has so lavishly blessed you with to make a living for yourself. And you don't have to succumb to the pressures of sleeping around to make money. You don't. By the time I was done with her, she had a change of heart. But of course, I'm watching her closely and she will not toe that path. I've told her she won't. In fact, I've used the name of Jesus on her head. She won't toe that path. And this is what I'm saying to anyone here who is watching, who you somehow think that the only way you can make it to the top is either by sleeping around or marrying a rich man. No man should be your strategy for alleviating poverty. Do you understand? Do you understand? No man should be your get money quick scheme or get rich quick scheme. That's the lowest level of degradation that you can ever give to yourself. And the biggest insult, my Father in heaven, made you. Girl, who made you in his image and in his likeness. You have everything that you require to make You have it all. The brain, the intellect, the wisdom, the understanding, the knowledge. You have it all. All you need to do, just develop it. Acknowledge you have it, develop it. And it's easy. With the influx and flow of information everywhere in today's society, you can become rich. I think it's easier to become wealthy as a woman in today's society by doing legal and moral things. It's easier now than it was many years ago. So you don't have an excuse. Don't sleep around. There's grace. There's a lot of grace. Why do you want to go and sleep around when you have grace? Grace as your currency, as your backing. Don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. This next one, again, is both a lifestyle and a beauty standard. And it's just thinking you have to have a closet full of stuff to look good. Thinking that you have, I know we see all of those aesthetically pleasing closets, walk-in closets, those dreamy closets that has 10 million bags, 10,000 shoes. You don't need those things. See, those things are do you know what I discovered about life? The more things you have, the more stress you have. That's why I finally understood the meaning of minimalistic living, where you don't have too many options, but the options you have are quality options that every day you wake up, you're not worrying how many, you're looking through your 1,000 shoes, cracking your brain about which one to wear, when you can just have 10 good pairs, 10, and you can just put them together nicely if you understand how to style yourself and your body type, than having 1,000 shoes and every morning you wake up, you have to spend an hour figuring out what to wear. That's precious time you can use to watch a movie or do something with yourself. Maybe even cook yourself a nice meal or read a book or learn a new course or a new skill. So you don't have to have a lot of stuff in your wardrobe. You don't have to have 10 million clothes in your wardrobe. Something I did lately, because I found out I started acquiring, I don't know where I got that habit from. I just started acquiring clothes. I just kept acquiring. And my closet kept getting, the other day I'm like, what the, no, this can't be my life. This can't be my life. So what I did, I haven't sort through the whole entire closet yet, but what I did was, because I'm also already in the habit of bringing out what I would wear every week, I just brought out the things that I know I wear on a regular basis and then put the remaining ones in a box. So it's all in a box somewhere in the closet. And when I'm done with these first sets that might last me maybe 3-4 months, I'll go back into that box and then dig out new sets and then push these old sets into that box so I won't wear it again until I'm able to get bigger room for my closet space. But you don't need a lot of things in your closets to actually look put together, okay? This next beauty standard, this one I laugh at. I laugh at it so loudly. And it's simply, repeating an outfit gives off the impression that you don't have enough clothes. Big fat lie from the bottomless pit of hell. I am of the school of thought and of the opinion that if you walk into a store and you find an outfit you like and you cannot style that outfit at least 5 different ways, don't buy it. Unless, of course, it's for a maybe special once in a while occasion that you know you have to just invest in it just to meet up with the theme of the occasion. But for your everyday outfits, if you can't style it more than 5 times, or at least 5 times, you've wasted your money. And you shouldn't be ashamed of repeating your clothing. My dear, it's clothes. There's nothing, it's just clothes. It's just clothes. You remember we were born naked. Naturally, we were supposed to be moving around naked. There was not supposed to be anything like clothes. So if you bought that cloth 150K, for example, and you tell me I should wear it only once, how? On which part of heaven? Please don't do that. Own your repeating clothes with your full chest. Own it, okay? The last one, before I tell you the actual beauty standards you should actually focus on, what you should be focusing your attention on. The last one is just simply, waist trainers and slimming tees can reduce belly fat. Lies. If you want to lose belly fat, just go on a calorie deficit and go and start lifting weights. Start carrying weights at the gym or in your house, anywhere you find the weights. Be on a calorie deficit by minding what you put in your belly and start lifting weights. That's the only way. If you like, drink all the green teas in this world and snatch your waist and stop hurting yourself, okay? I love you guys so much and I won't say if you like. So please don't do it, okay? Okay? Good. So to move on to the final part of this episode where I'm talking about the beauty standards you should actually focus your attention on. I put down here that the only beauty and lifestyle standard you should uphold are the ones that speak to the core of your being and your authentic nature. I said it at the beginning, everybody is different, individuated in our own unique rights. So the only beauty standards that you should fit into are the ones that speak to you as a person and are authentic to your nature, whatever that means to you. There is no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to these beauty and lifestyle standards. Where are you currently on your life journey? What do you desire the most? That's the only standards you should be abiding by. And if, for example, you have a standard that says, I don't enjoy wearing makeup, or makeup gives me allergies, you don't have to succumb to society's pressure of always wearing makeup when you want to go out. Own your bare face, okay? And another standard that I feel like would actually also help anyone at any time is, of course, apart from accepting your body the way it is fully, look at yourself. Just go in front of the mirror, right? Look at yourself. Identify the things you don't necessarily like and the things you like. Then you see the things you don't like. Start looking at them. Look at them with a different eyes. Oh, I love the way my fingers are. Some people have come here to yab me and say that I have dark knuckles on my fingers. Girls, I love them because that's how God made them. Some people say I bleach. I don't bleach my skin. My fingers have dark knuckles, and that's how God has made my fingers. I think it's even the light that actually even makes it darker than what it is. Because in real life, they don't really look dark, but I know that I have a little bit of darkness around my fingers. I've embraced it. I've embraced it with my full chest. I'm a straight girly. I don't have hips. I don't carry front. I don't carry back. Oh no, maybe I carry small front, but no back. But I love me the way that I am. I've embraced myself. That's one of the biggest things you can ever do to yourself. And of course, learn how to be a confident person. That's another beauty standard you need to embrace with your full chest. Go and master the art of confidence, where regardless of how it is that people perceive you, you are the most confident person in the room. And I tell you that confidence will take you places where insecurities can never, ever take you. So embrace yourself, embrace your unique personality, embrace your unique body, and stop succumbing to the pressures of society's beauty standards. Okay, my girlies. Okie dokie. All right, that's all I have for you for today's episode. I hope you've learned a thing or two. I know that I've certainly learned something from this episode. If there are other beauty standards that you think that I didn't mention, please let's continue the conversation in the comment section down below. I'll see you again with another episode. Until then, remember to stay very, very elegant. Take care.